Welcome to Focus on Family. I'm Kathy McCarthy, and I'm very excited to continue our series on creating the life you love. Tonight, we are on part 3 of this exciting series, and back with me again is my guest, Kim Kasparian, who is a success genie, as well as a business strategist and a life coach. She's going to guide us through this journey, and I'm very excited to introduce Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being back again. So we talked about part 1 was our
mindset.
Series
Success
on
is a mindset.
Right, and then part 2 was on management, correct?
Marketing. Well,
Marketing.
We call marketing, but for personal life coaching, it's all about asking
Okay.
and receiving. It's the mechanics of success. So if success is a mindset, how do I become that? How do I bring that into my everyday life? And we say success is simple. Mm-hmm. It's all about asking and receiving. So we talked about that. Mm-hmm. How do we ask? When do we ask? And how do we get prepared to receive what we asked for?
Okay. And then tonight is on.
Is all of that's coming. Oh my God, my success is happening. How do I manage it all?
Okay. So tonight we're talking about managing our successes.
Yes,
Okay.
because as much as struggling, fill in the 4-letter word, S and K, S and K. We're used to it, and we have a certain management style about it. And when success starts happening and everything you ever asked for starts coming towards you, you realize, whoa, this is different. I don't know how to manage all this. Or I always say, I had a thimble mm-hmm. and I got a tsunami, mm-hmm. and okay, where do I put the rest of it? So tonight's going to be tips about managing your success. And I think the 2 biggest complaints that I get when people come to me, whether it's a business challenge or life challenge, is everyone's struggling with either time and or money. Mm-hmm. So tonight we're going to talk about some great tips that your viewers can learn how to manage things in a way that make them feel successful.
Well, I'm very excited about this. So where would we begin?
Okay, let's think. Let's begin. Everyone can agree because everyone's unique, but where I think we all connect is that everyone might have their different goals and life trajectory and plans, but life is what happens when we're busy making those plans. So that's an experience that all of us can share no matter what the walk of life that we're in. And no matter how great we are, no matter how if we're the president of a company or we're the janitor, of a school, we all have the same amount of time, 168 hours a week. And I know I used to hit my head against the wall and scream at the gods when people talked about time management. And there's so many great books and people and gurus telling you how to manage time. But no matter how much you slice and dice it, your inner, what I call the inner genie, knows it's limited. Mm-hmm. And limited just doesn't feel good. And before you even get out of bed to do all those great techniques, you're already feeling $1 a day late and $1 short. Because I already know my to-dos are bigger than my day. Mm-hmm. So what I like to recommend to the clients that come to work with us is stop managing time. There's nothing to manage. It's there. It's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. It comes, it goes, it comes back again, that's it. So manage energy, because energy is infinite. Energy attracts energy. And even if you have 10,000 things on your list and that list is not getting any shorter, when you show up to it from an energy management perspective, all those things that you used to avoid and procrastinate and just be ugh, I can't do it, become fun. So our management system that we have our clients and community try on is show up to fun to get it done.
Okay.
So that's our first tip.
So an example of showing up
for
fun.
So right, first step is mind shift, right? Mm-hmm. I told you everything starts with a mind shift. Mm-hmm. Shift your mindset from focusing on time to managing energy. So that means when you go from time to energy, your focus changes and your priorities shift. So it's not so much what needs to get done in the shortest amount of time or in time management, I always learned that I always love eat the ugly frog first, that thing that you don't like to do first. Mm-hmm. In our world, I tell you have dessert first. Because if you're feeling full on dessert and you're having all those happy feelings, like you know how dessert makes you all feel happy, all of a sudden that ugly frog doesn't look so ugly and it becomes easier to deal with. So a tip to embrace energy is the first thing that you do in the morning, or the first thing that you show up to as soon as you have you on your list, is don't do a drudgery task. Do something that either puts joy in your heart or energy in your body. Because the more energy you have, the happier you become. On the converse, if you're managing time and you're focusing on being a human, what I call a human doing, you could have all the blessings in the world, but if you're tired, you're depleted, you're depressed, you're going to look at all the blessings and go, I can't even appreciate that. Because how does someone who's dehydrated and thirsty appreciate a banquet meal when all they need is a drink of water? Does that make sense?
Right, that makes sense.
So it sounds quirky, and you know, people go, "Are you kidding me, Kim?" It works because, and I've even done this. Like I'm thinking, how much fun? Because even my husband, who teaches the programs with me, he's like, "Are you ever putting like one of my biggest fun things is my Kindle. I fought it. I love books, and then he introduced me to the Kindle, and it's like it's wherever I go. It's my American Express card. Wherever it goes with me." And there have been some weeks, not even days, I just was not feeling it. Everything seemed bigger, like, oh, I can't do that. Even like the simplest, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'd rather go to the dentist without Novocaine than do that. So I just chose, I'm like, okay, what would you tell your client? Fill up on fun until you feel you can get it done. Now in my mind, I'm estimating 5 minutes, a half hour. It was hours, like days. And he's like, are you ever getting out of that thing? I'm like, yep, when I fill up on fun, it'll all get done. And to my own surprise, because that's the most time it ever took, I really let the tank go dry. I had a lot of to-dos with very hard deadlines, and everything got done like that. Things that would have taken me days took me hours.
It's that 80-20 rule. You could get 80% of the work done
in 20% of the time. So this is a dramatic story that even I challenged my own experiences of like, okay, I've never been here before. But I have my clients do this. And at first they think I'm like, okay, Kim, you really are out there. And I said, I know, but you're here because you want something. And it's amazing. They'll say, I feel so much better, or oh my God, that got delegated. Someone came over and just did it. Or my favorite, I have a client that she's like, Kim, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but people just showing up bringing me stuff. Like things that I wanted and they brought it.
I like that one.
Yeah. She just moved into a new place, and you know, it didn't even have appliances, and she's like, oh my God. And because she uses Mindshift, people brought her all the appliances, furniture, for free.
So it's the energy that she created is
she created the space.
Attracting.
She chose not to stress. I said, you know what, the minute you're feeling stressed, show up to something fun. You'll know when you're full. The motivation will just come, and you'll be drawn to whatever task really needs to get done. Right. So what I like about energy management is intuitive. It defies logic, but it always helps you show up right on time. So first tip is, when it needs to get done, show up to fun. There are chores, I'm sure everyone has chores like in your household or in your business that just need to get done, but you don't like them. I find ways to make it fun, because I know me. If it's not fun, it's not getting done. So whether you put on music, where you, I used to do this with my nieces and my friends' kids. You know, little kids are notorious for not wanting to pick up their playroom. And a lot of parents, because they're busy, they just let them, you know, bring everything out, because it's just to ask them, even, I'm talking toddlers. And I'll come into the room and I'll just say, okay, want to play a game? And they're like, yeah. I'll go, whoever cleans up all the toys first gets a prize, or we get to do something. Okay, and then they all start fighting each other to get to the toy box to put everything back, and their parents come in like 20 minutes later, they're like, what happened?
What happened around here?
I'm like, they did it. They don't do it. I'm like, they did it. I'm like, who did it? They're like, me. And then we had the whatever prize, whatever the, you know, the game was that we were going to play. So if they can do it, we're just big kids and we're little kids in big bodies.
That's right. Well, they said everything that we've learned, we learned. Everything we need to know, we learned in kindergarten.
I love that book.
Yeah.
Don't you love that book?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So, you know, this is just the general way. Another great tip, if you want to embrace energy management and attract things to you, and I just did this we have a program, and my clients participate to experience this in 90 days. So they're at the part like they're going, Kim, success is coming to me, and it's great, but it's weird. It's like it's just coming to me. And they're also realizing that as great as their life is and as great as they're feeling, life is still happening, things they don't expect, or their to-dos haven't gotten any shorter. So they're kind of like, how do I reconcile this? I'm feeling good, but things have to get done, and the old way is not working, but I quite haven't got on the new way yet. Mm-hmm. So another management, because your priorities have shifted, mm-hmm. your priorities need to focus on everything on the list you're going to get done. You choose first either what's fun, what brings you money, and or what fills your body with energy. Because you need energy, especially those hard, arduous tasks. You need energy to focus on them. So you do a data dump, which we talked in the other program. Just list everything that's in your head that you want to do, should do, could do, need to do. And instead of prioritizing task A, B, C, forget that. Identify each task. Is it a high energy task for you? Because like administrative tasks are high energy for me. For my accountant, they're low, that she can do it all day long. High energy, low energy. From your big work task to like doing the laundry, like folding the clothes, low energy task for me. Organizing my papers or throwing things out, low energy task. Prioritize your whole to-do list by high energy, low energy. Okay. Then when you get up or show up to your desk or show up to whatever task or time that you have put together for work or managing the house, ask yourself, am I having a high energy moment or a low energy moment? I really don't care what you put, especially for self-employed people. Mm-hmm. You schedule appointments, and you might, even as a corporate person, you have certain places you need to be. If you are showing up in a low energy moment to a high energy task, it's not going to work. So you have two choices. If you can, and you're owning your schedule, move that high, let's say if it's like a high energy task on your calendar and you're low energy, move out the high energy to put in a low energy tasks or 3 or 4 low energy tasks and get them done, because one of the tips for management, power of completion. Even if you're having a low energy day, if you do a quick series of completion steps, like a quick series of successes, say that 5 times fast. So if you do them in rapid succession, it builds energy, mm-hmm. it builds confidence, and it builds momentum. So you went from like a 0 to an 8 just by that 1, 2, 3, rather than trying to do the whole step. Then you can easily, once you have the energy back, the wind is in your sails, you can say the wind's back, and you can pull out a high energy task, and what may have taken you 3 hours only takes you 30 minutes.
Now, what about taking a break? Say if you're feeling low energy and maybe you'll go outside and take a brisk walk.
A brisk walk, put on some music and go dance around your office. I believe in power naps. 15-minute, 20-minute naps can turn your life around. Sometimes you're just thirsty, mm-hmm. a glass of water and something nutritious to eat to get, you don't realize how tired you are until you get something in your system and you feel like refreshed.
Now, what if you have it seems like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon there's that slump. So what if you have a 3 o'clock meeting and you need your energy for this meeting, but you're kind of feeling
and you can't change the meeting?
Right.
Okay. What I would do is I like your energy walking. If you have to be enthusiastic and you're not, this is my favorite trick. Go up and down a flight of stairs 3 times, mm-hmm. Until you're out of breath, because they'll confuse that you're out of breathness with excitement and enthusiasm.
Okay.
I do this especially when I do a phone call, like, hi, how are you? Oh, you're talking to me sound outside. Yeah. You can do an energy power bar, mm-hmm. energy drink. I don't particularly like energy drinks, but a piece of fruit, mm-hmm. or something that kind of picks you up.
Get that sugar up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Your glucose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or I love music. Music just mm-hmm. inspires me. Yeah. Put on your little earbuds, mm-hmm. and just bop around your office, mm-hmm. or do jumping jacks. It'll get you. It might not be that long sustaining, but it'll get you through.
Get you over the hump. Yeah. Okay. All right, those are great tips.
So management. So it's really about, we talked in the other shows, success is a mindset. What you think about, you bring about. Mm-hmm. If you don't ask for something, you can't receive it. And management is about setting up your world to win.
Now, what about delegating? There's certain tasks that, I don't like to do, and I would love to delegate those tasks out. Is that something that you recommend?
Yes.
Say it's, whether it's the cleaning lady or a personal chef or, like you said, the accountant or a bookkeeper for things that you don't like to do.
Right. Here's where the challenge is. The minute you say that, if your mindset is not in alignment, what you're going to hear your brain or somebody else say, you can't afford that. You don't have time for that. That's too much work.
And nobody does it as well as I do.
No one does. Yeah, welcome to my world. No one does it better than me. Even though I stink. So, all right. So let's say that you're like, Kim, I resemble that remark. Like, yes.
Yeah.
So this is what we call the manifestation, the magic, the reason why we call the company Success Genie, and I'm always known as the Success Genie. Anything you desire in your life, even if you think it's a dream that, like, the 4 miracles of the world have to happen before you can have this. Mm-hmm. I challenge everybody, to write it down, because once it's written, it becomes real. They've done studies on this. You've read books about this. I've experienced this. I've written something down. It's going on into a drawer, falling in the back, and then you're moving or you're getting things, and all of a sudden you find this lost piece of paper, and it's from like 10 years ago, and you wrote down all the things you wanted to acquire, and then you go, wait a minute, that came true. Yeah, I got that. And it wasn't even in front of your eyeballs all that time. It just, you wrote it and put it away. Same thing. So yes, maybe you don't have the energy or the mindset yet to commit to that virtual assistant or that personal chef, but you'd really like it. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be decadent if I could. Wish on paper, because a wish that's written becomes real. And then when the timing's right, or even when it's not, the opportunity will show up, and you'll be surprised how all of a sudden what didn't feel affordable or manageable somehow becomes available. Right. Either somebody offers to barter with you and exchange services, or you find it's more affordable than you thought. Mm-hmm. And it just happens. So yes, as a human doing, that I'm a self-recovering human doing, me, myself, and I can do everything just fine. We don't need any help. Not worthy of receiving it anyway, but don't need it. This is how I made the shift, because I was like, no, I can just do it. And if I can't do it, I can live without it. Is I made a list of everything that I don't like to do, or that I really know I don't do it well, but I'm not telling anybody. Mm-hmm. And then to a piece of paper, do it like this. What I don't like to do, in the next 90 days, what am I willing to let go of? If somebody by miracle of life came into my life and said, I do that for free, mm-hmm. what would I be willing to let go of if it made sense in the next 90 days? Write those things down, close the envelope, put it in your drawer. Check it 90 days from now, and see how many opportunities came to you.
Really? Okay.
There you go.
That's great.
You like that?
I like that one. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
See what happens.
Absolutely.
So what other tips as far as managing our energy would you recommend? How about for people who have a hard time winding down at the end of the day? They're like, I'm type A, high energy.
Yeah.
For me, I know that there's a certain time at the end of the day that I just need to stop.
Yes.
No matter what it is, I have to stop.
Do you do that though? I have a hard time. Yeah, in the beginning I had a hard time honoring that stop gap.
No,
I'm a juggernaut. I can keep going all the time.
I could keep going. I could go all day, all night.
Okay. So what's a tip that you've come up with that works that you want to share?
So I set up a routine that after dinner, after the dinner dishes get done, then that's my time to stop. Unless obviously I have a client or something in the evening.
Right.
But I stop.
Right.
I put my pajamas on.
So what you're saying is that you create a stopgap,
I stop.
a moment, an actual ritual.
Oh yes, it's definitely a ritual. You put your pajamas on and you wash your face and have my cup of herbal tea. Everybody knows me by my herbal tea.
Right. So what's so great about that? And you may know, but listeners might be going, that sounds really nice, but the significance of that and why it works is because you're sending an actual signal, a physical, biological signal to the brain that it's time to shut this part of my life off. And even the most high-strung, typical A personality, human doing, recovering, my body catches up, or my brain catches up with my body and says, okay.
Right.
Another helpful thing is after the sun goes down, the lights go down.
Blinds get pulled. That's another trick.
My father, God bless him, he always Lincoln did everything through candlelight. Yeah. But he's always with books. But he goes, if you're doing your homework, put it on. Right. But the Arcadia rhythms.
Yes.
Okay, the biorhythms. Bright light, like we're in the studio right now, and a lot of people, lights should not be on after 6 o'clock. They should be low. If you are working or you're doing your studies, you should have a spotlight on whatever you're doing, because it'll allow you to get your work done, but it won't affect your body saying it's time to go relax.
And I think part of the issue with people type A like us, that we can keep going and we can do the laundry at night and we could just keep going and going.
But it depletes.
And you feel depleted, right.
So this is what I love about energy management, because I could never imagine slowing down. Actually, slowing down for me brings up more anxiety than ants in the ant farm. So, and time never fit for me, because it just stressed me out. What I love about, and I've lost fun. I became a workaholic as a child. That was my drug of choice to just deal with everything. So I lost fun at a very young age, but really who I am is fun. So that was really an interesting experience. By putting fun first, and I think all of us, we're here to experience, it resets that success button. And people go, but Kim, what if I become a fun addict? I'm like, it can't happen. At some point, it levels out, and you got to show up to something else.
And you have to have something to look forward to. Otherwise, what's the point of going through your day all day, getting the to-do list done?
Well, we've lived this, Kathy. You and I've lived this.
Yeah.
Every day is a gift, right? It's a present. You don't know if you're getting another one. If you can't afford to give yourself, with my clients, the minimum I say 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, 30 minutes in the middle for you. If you really, really, really cannot look in the mirror, no matter how low your self-esteem is or how lost you've been, and say, I don't deserve 1 hour of 24.
Right.
If I don't, why am I here?
Right. What's the point?
What? And we get so fine. Okay, well, that's 23 to everyone else. Okay, I'm still good. I haven't, So if you only have an hour, which, okay, the first 15 minutes, show up to something fun or something that feeds your spirit, whether it be scriptures, whether it be positive reading. For me, it's a romance novel. Okay, fun. Whatever your thing is.
That's it. Whatever
I'm like, if reading, filling up on fun, I'm not going to get anything for the rest of the day, so let me get it now. And the thing I'd like everyone to avoid, and I love my news, I love my NPR. Please do not show up to stressful news, emails, TV for the first 15 minutes of your day.
Even if it's just sitting having your cup of coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the moms, you get up before everyone else to have that moment in the bathroom where it's just yours. So whatever that is for you, there's plenty of time to plug into the negativity. Refrain. The same thing, and I used to be famous. I used to watch the 11 o'clock news, and you can get the news tomorrow. It'll still be there.
Or set up those alerts on your phone.
Right.
If there's something something I need to know.
I need to wake up 12 o'clock in the morning to hear, okay.
Yeah, I'll get that alert, but you don't need to watch the news
constantly. The last 15 minutes of the day, either data dump all the to-dos in your head so you can go to sleep knowing they're accounted for, or again, read something inspirational, or do a puzzle, or do something that makes you feel like, I had a good day.
Warm bubble bath.
Warm bubble bath. A glass of your favorite beverage.
Yeah. You need something to look forward to at the end of the day.
Yes, and it's something that's not revving you up, but making your body come down.
Like you said, I love to
mountain.
read. Love to read, and that really relaxes me.
And or for people who like to journal, journaling at night, or giving thanks, because a lot of our clients, everyone keeps a gratitude journal, but they like to do it at night. journaling about what you desire or what you'd like help with, whatever you think about right before you go to bed is what your brain works on to bring into your life. So if you go to bed stressed, worried about problems, your mind goes, oh, you want more problems? I'll bring you more problems.
Because your brain subconsciously is trying to figure it out, and you're going to do that in your sleep.
Your brain wants to solve your problem. So whatever thing you feed it, so I like to just data dump all the doubt, leave it on the table, I'll deal with it tomorrow. And sometimes I ask my brain, I say, okay, I'm going to go to sleep now, but can you work on this? Because I like that, and I don't know how to bring it, and I'll wake up in the morning with an idea, inspiration.
It's amazing how that happens.
I keep something by my bed.
That's what I say, right?
So I'm going to wake up, and by the time I open my, I'm like, I'll forget it.
Right.
But yeah, that's a great.
I keep the pen and paper right by the bedside because some of my best ideas are in that moment where you're not sleeping, but you're not awake.
Exactly,
kind of
exactly.
zone.
And you can kind of write in your sleep.
Right.
But by the minute you, like, what did I say? Oh, wow, that's brilliant.
I thought of that? Wow, yeah.
I didn't think I was that good.
Yeah.
So those are, I call it, we just had a call last night, and I work with people who are very busy. They're like on the fast track. Their careers are on the fast track. And I think the biggest mistake that people make when managing their success or managing their pursuit of success is they look at the big picture and think they have to tackle it all at the same time. I know I'm famous for that. I'll think of, like, I have a project to do, and I'll think of the whole project, and my Genie already knows, Ken, there's like 30 parts to that project, and it would take the parting of the Red Sea again for me to have time from start to finish to do it all at once, so I keep on putting it off.
And sometimes those projects, I know for me, like I say, oh, I want to do this, or there's a project that I like to do that I have to think about, do I really want to do that? And what is my motive behind that?
You're right, and all these, so if you think about it, I like breaking things down into steps. And what I do is I have all my steps written out, and then I keep it with me in my folder, and then I have them find out I have a minute of time. When you do this, you find you have a lot more time, and I go, oh, I'm in the mood to do something, and I look at my list, and I pick one thing that takes me 5 minutes, so I call it the Swiss cheese method.
Okay.
Just if something is 20 parts, don't try to do it the 20 parts. Pick one thing that you like or you're in the mood to do, and then you pick it apart.
Right,
and
before you chunk it out.
And before you know it, it's all gone.
So it's not so overwhelming, and you could get it done a little bit easier that way. And then I think it's important to feel like you've accomplished something at the end of the day.
That's the secret. That's the secret, or the psychology behind doing a bunch of small things in quick succession. Which will give you that feeling of I accomplished something, and that creates the momentum, rather than waiting to get through this long, arduous process. You're delayed. I believe in instant gratification in the right setting. So that's a great way to do it.
Well, I appreciate. Thank you for all this.
You're welcome.
And for bringing awareness to us. I think that's important that we have the awareness of what we need to do instead of just going through the day.
Yes, because success is your birthright. You know that.
I love you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Focus on Family today. I want to thank my guest Kim for being here and for bringing us all this wonderful information. Until next time, live well.